Hi, can I ask you something? When was the last time you truly felt seen by someone? Not admired, not wanted, not needed, seen. Because here's what I'm noticing, we're all saying we want intimacy. We're swiping and dating and coupling and uncoupling, trying to find it. We're reading the books, doing the work, having the hard conversations. But somewhere along the way, I think there's some confusion about what intimacy actually is. And that confusion is costing us everything. So today we're going to talk about what intimacy really means. Not the Instagram version, not the Hollywood version, the real thing. The thing that most of us are actually terrified of, even though we say we want it more than anything. And I promise you, by the end of this conversation, you're going to see your relationships completely differently. So, let's dive in. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Most of us think we want intimacy, but we don't. Not really. What we actually want is validation. We want security. We want proof that we're worthy. We want someone to choose us to stay with us, to confirm that we're enough. And listen, I'm not judging. That's deeply human. We all want to be chosen. We all want to matter. We all want to be someone to someone. But here's the problem. We've mistaken those things for intimacy. So let me paint you a picture of what this looks like. Okay? You meet someone new. The chemistry is electric. They text you constantly, good morning texts, random check-ins throughout the day, long voice notes at night. They want to see you all the time. They call you beautiful, tell you you're different from anyone they've ever met. And it feels good. It feels like intimacy. Because finally, someone sees how incredible you are. But what you're actually experiencing isn't intimacy. It's attention. And attention feels amazing when you've been starving for it. Or maybe it looks like this. You're in a relationship and your partner needs you. They need your advice, your reassurance, your presence. They don't like to make decisions without you. They get anxious when you're apart and you feel important, essential, like you matter in their life in a very profound way. And you think, this has to be intimacy. We need each other. But what you're experiencing isn't intimacy. That's enmeshment. It's dependency, not depth. Okay, maybe one more. You have this friend, this person you can vent to about everything, every frustration, every disappointment, every drama in your life. And they listen. They validate you. They tell you that you're right, that you deserve better, that other people are the problem. It feels intimate because you're sharing so much, but you're not actually being known. You're being agreed with. There's a difference. Real intimacy isn't someone telling you what you want to hear. It's someone seeing all of you, the beautiful parts and the ugly parts, the parts that you're proud of and the parts that you're ashamed of. And here's the thing, they still choose to stay. We've confused intimacy with being wanted, being needed, being praised, being understood on our own terms, and having someone take our side. And all of those things can feel amazing. Some of them are even important in relationships. They truly are, but they're not intimacy. So, if that's not intimacy, then what is? Well, before we get there, we need to talk about the biggest trap of all: mistaken intensity for intimacy. Because our culture has completely sold us this lie that if it doesn't feel intense, it's not real. And you know what intensity feels like. It feels like lightning. Like your stomach is in knots, like you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think about anything or anyone else. It's the relationship where you're fighting and crying and making up, and the sex is incredible, and you're texting 20 times a day, and you feel more alive than you have ever felt. It's the friend drama that consumes your whole friend group. It's the work relationship where everything feels high stakes and urgent. Intensity. It feels like urgency. Like if you're not careful, you'll lose it. Like you have to hold on tight or it will slip away. Intimacy feels completely different. Intimacy feels like coming home, like exhaling, like you can finally stop performing, take off your mask, and just be. It's quiet. Sometimes it's boring. It doesn't make your heart race. It makes your nervous system calm down. Intensity sounds like, I can't live without you. I've never felt this way before. You're the only one who understands me. This is crazy, but I think I'm falling for you. After 2 weeks. Intimacy. Intimacy sounds like, I see you struggling with this, and I'm here. Tell me what you're really afraid of. I notice you do this thing when you're uncomfortable. I disagree with you, and I still love you. Intensity is about feeling everything all at once, all the time. Intimacy is about being fully present with what actually is. Like intensity is texting constantly because silence feels threatening. It's grand gestures and dramatic declarations. It's needing to know where they are and what they're doing every moment. The relationship that everyone is talking about because it's so passionate and chaotic. Just stay with me. I know. I don't want you to feel, I can't tell you how to feel, but my goal is that you don't feel exposed. I want you to feel seen. I want you to feel understood. And I want you to understand that in no way am I making fun of this intensity or the pain or the anxious preoccupation beneath it. I just want us to be clear so that we are nurturing healthy, wholesome relationships. Because as soon as the intimacy dies down, we begin to sabotage the relationship and ourselves. We start to nitpick, thinking that something's wrong. it has to grow to a place of being seen. Because intimacy is comfortable silence where nobody needs to fill the space. You can be in the same room and not necessarily be talking. It's small, consistent acts of attention. It's trusting them without needing proof. It's the relationship that looks boring from the outside, but feels like peace on the inside. And here's what's wild. Intensity is actually the opposite of intimacy. Because intensity requires constant stimulation, constant validation, constant drama to prove that it's real. Intimacy requires stillness. And in stillness, you actually have to face who you are. You have to face who they are without the performance, without the chaos, without the distractions. And that's terrifying. If you allow it to be, if you phrase it that way. But we'll get to the fear in the next episode. Right now, I want to show you what intimacy actually includes. Because here's the thing most people don't realize. Intimacy isn't just one thing. It's not just physical closeness or emotional connection. It's actually 6 different types of connection that when they come together, create the depth of what we're all craving. And so I'll walk you through them. First, it's emotional intimacy. This is what most people think of when they hear the word intimacy. Unless they think the second thing, which is physical intimacy, but I'm coming to that. It's the ability to share your inner world with someone. Your fears, your hopes, your shame, your joy. It's about being able to say, I'm scared or I'm struggling or I need help without having to perform. It's being emotionally available, not just sharing feelings, but being able to receive someone else's feelings without fixing them or shutting them down. So this is where I would like for our heads and our hearts to go first, is emotional intimacy. Now, the intimacy that most people are familiar with is physical intimacy. And physical intimacy isn't even just sex, though sex can be a part of it. Physical intimacy is about non-sexual touch, affection, physical closeness, presence. It's holding hands. It's a hug that lasts long enough for you to actually feel it, not the church hug with the pat on the back. It's sitting close on the couch. It's the way bodies relax around each other when they're safe. For some people, physical intimacy is the easiest. For others, it's the most vulnerable thing in the world. Then there's intellectual intimacy. This is about sharing ideas and thoughts and curiosities. It's being able to have deep conversations about things that matter to you. Philosophy, books, politics, creativity, dreams, how the world works. It's the kind of conversation where you're both challenged and inspired, where you can disagree and it makes the connection deeper instead of threatening. It's being with someone who makes you think differently, who expands your world. And so sometimes when you're bored, it's because there's not a lot of intellectual intimacy. Spiritual intimacy is the fourth. This one can be tricky because it means different things to different people. For some, it's sharing religious beliefs or practices. For others, it's a shared sense of meaning or purpose. But it's about connecting over the questions that keep you up at night. Why are we here? What matters? What do you believe about life and death and suffering and beauty? It's finding alignment in your values, even if your practices are different. Fifth, experiential intimacy. Now, this is about doing life together. This is shared experiences, adventures, inside jokes, memories, rituals. It's the friend you always go to concerts with, the partner you travel with, the family traditions that make you you. It's created over time through repetition and presence. And you can't rush this type of intimacy. It's built through showing up over and over again and again. And then lastly, there's social intimacy. And this is about how you exist in the world together. Are you comfortable with each other around other people? Can you integrate your lives, your friends, your families, your communities? Or do you keep each other in separate boxes? Social intimacy is about being publicly connected, not just privately. It's the difference between someone being your secret and someone being a part of your life in a way that other people can see. I'll let you take all that in. Now, here's what's important. You don't need all 6 types with every person in your life. You really don't. You might have deep intellectual intimacy with a friend, but no physical intimacy. You might have that experiential and social intimacy with your family, but struggle with emotional intimacy. You might have incredible physical and emotional intimacy with a partner, but no spiritual alignment. But what you do need to understand is this. When you're feeling disconnected from someone, it's usually because one or more of these types of intimacy is missing. And when you can name which one, you can actually do something about it. And I'll even share this with you. If physical intimacy is the only intimacy in your relationship, it has to carry 70% of the weight. And so when you're kind of tired of that aspect, now what do you have in common? Now you kind of say, I'm bored. Not laughing at your pain. These are real deal things. So why do we get this wrong? Why do we keep choosing intensity over intimacy, drama over depth? Why do we settle for validation instead of vulnerability? Because intimacy is slow. And we live in a culture that worships speed. Think about it. People swipe through potential partners like they're products on a shelf. We expect to know if there's chemistry in the first 5 minutes. People ghost people instead of having uncomfortable conversations. And then we curate highlight reels of our lives and call it connection. Everything in our world tells us that if that's not instant, it's not real. If it doesn't feel intense, it's not worth pursuing. We've been trained to mistake the spark for the fire. And then here's what nobody tells you. The spark is easy. The spark happens all the time. The spark is chemistry and attraction and novelty. The fire is built slowly. Over time, with intention. The fire is what keeps you warm when the spark has long faded. Intensity is the spark. Intimacy is the fire. And the really hard truth, building intimacy requires something that most of us are desperately avoiding. It requires us to be known, not admired, not idealized, not agreed with, known. All of you, the good, the bad, the messy, the broken, the beautiful, all of it. And that brings us to the real question. If intimacy is what we're supposedly seeking, if it's the thing that creates the deepest, most fulfilling relationships, if it's what we say we want more than anything, why are we all so terrified of it? Because we are. We're terrified. And next episode, we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about the fear underneath all of this. The fear of being truly seen. The fear of being rejected for who we actually are. The fear of vulnerability. The fear of needing someone. The fear of being too much. The fear of not being enough. We're going to go deep into the fear. But before we do, I need to know, does this resonate with you? Have you been mistaking intensity for intimacy? Have you been desiring, even praying for, a relationship of intensity and not intimacy? Have you been looking for validation over connection? Have you been building relationships on attention instead of depth? Drop me a comment and let me know. Tell me which of the 6 types of intimacy you're craving most right now. Or tell me which one feels the scariest. And if this conversation opened up something for you, feel free to share it with me. Send this video to someone who needs to hear it, because I promise you, they're likely confused about this too. Hit subscribe, because this series is just getting started. And I'll see you in the next one, where we talk about the thing nobody wants to talk about, the fear of being seen and being known. I'll see you there. Blessings to you.